Hello and welcome back to Factorio Tutorials. This is your host Alex from FCOG Gaming, and yeah, last time I had set up Red and Green Science Pack production, which I did tweak a little bit in between episodes, but yeah, it's still pretty much the same concept. I believe I did have the belt factory going into that box. I also, since then, have done the fast belts into another box. And yeah, so just kind of giving you an overview of what's going on here. Yeah, it's keeping up for the most part. A lot of the faster research does take quite a bit of iron, but yeah. When I have this setup of 10 furnaces, when you get the steel furnace, you pretty much have to be putting it onto a fast belt in order for it to empty out into the production line properly. Otherwise, the belt just simply doesn't keep up. So, yeah. So in this episode, I'm going to be setting up for oil production, which is fairly simple. But I know a lot of times, like the first time I had to do it, it was a little bit confusing. So I'll try and slow down with it. Excuse me. Now, choosing a site, obviously you're going to want oil field somewhat nearby, and you do want access to water at some point, because a lot of the things that you make out of oil use water, and once you get to the tier 2 of oil production, you're going to want to be able to access that because you use it for the actual refining process. So generally when I'm putting down these oil drills, I like to have them kind of going to a central location. I usually have them drain into about 4 or so tanks, just to give yourself a decent amount of reserve. And yeah. Now, I usually don't walk through the oil fields very much, so what I will do is I'll just put down normal pipes for it, just because it's a lot cheaper than doing the underground pipe. But yeah, if you're in a position where you are going to be walking through this a lot, you probably want the underground pipe, because walking through normal pipe, well, it doesn't work, first off, and yeah, it's just really annoying to get through there a lot of times. And we'll go ahead and try to power all of this up. I probably should have done that before I put all these pipes down, because like I said, it's very annoying trying to walk through this. And we'll just go ahead and link this up with our copper production. Maybe. What did I do? I must have missed one. Is that it? There we go. Okay, so now all of these oil drills are making oil, and you can see that it's going up into the pipe. And I'll go ahead and hook up the tanks, and those will work until these are completely full, and then they automatically turn off. Now, something you do want to keep in mind, if you hover over these, you see how much oil is being produced a second in the lower right-hand corner. That does go down over time, so that's kind of how they balance well, oil production. Eventually you're going to have to expand to a different oil field. Definitely, luckily on this map, I've got quite a few to choose from. I've got one down here, one up here, and one off to the west there. Excuse me. Man, I am currently getting over, well, the flu. which is always fun. But yeah, hopefully that doesn't affect me too much. Now your next step is going to be the oil refineries. Now just kind of planning out for the future, I usually like to have 3 oil refineries going, and you do want room to incorporate water into the system, but and you also want to kind of plan out where your petroleum gas, your light oil, and your heavy oil is going to go, because that definitely plays a role when you're laying out the rest of your factory. Yeah, just basically hooking all this up to the oil. And you do have to choose a recipe. Eventually, as you get more research going, you get slightly better ways of refining oil, but that's not really relevant right now. Now, I think since the petroleum gas is what you use for the science packs, I'm going to have that, well, actually I lied. I'm going to have that being produced over to the right. The light oil will go down to the center, and the heavy oil will be processed off to the left. So, this is actually a trick I learned when I was doing the Hydra Dilemma. If you do something, oops, something like this, you can hook all of these pipes up together and basically put them wherever you want them. And that's going to go out that way. And I think I'm going to bring light oil to the middle here. And heavy oil is going to go off to the left. Alright, so is that spread out enough? I think I'm going to bring the petroleum gas down a little bit, because the light oil isn't going to be using up that much room, and really neither is the heavy oil, but yeah, that should be fine there. And I'm just going to put a tank on the end of each one of these lines, just to kind of have somewhere to store everything, obviously. And I need some more power poles. And we'll just hook this up to the main line. And that should be, yes it is. Okay, it's producing the oil byproducts, which is great. That's where we want to be, definitely. Excuse me, jeez. Thought I got rid of all that stuff before I started recording. Alright, so that's your basic oil refinery setup. Now, as these tanks fill up, once everything is full on one byproduct, the oil refineries stop producing, no matter what the other products look like. So I'm going to craft a few of these refineries and kind of get rid of the byproducts that I don't use very often. Now the oil you can put into lubricant right away anyway, and that's used in your electric engines, your express belts, stuff like that. Light oil, I like to just put that directly into solid fuel blocks, and especially in this situation because we don't have a huge coal deposit. If you remember right, I only have room for 3 miners, and that's pretty much maxing out that capacity, or that our capacity for that right now. especially when I turn research on. And yeah, the petroleum gas, that's where you get your like your plastic and your sulfur and stuff like that from. So go ahead and get this set up. Also gonna craft a few more tanks. So lubricant's really easy. You just put a chemical plant hooked up to your heavy oil, and I'm gonna have a tank on the other side of it, but yeah, that's pretty much all you do for that. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Once you get into advanced oil processing, you can crack that down to light oil, and then crack the light oil to the petroleum gas, but not quite there yet. So we'll do that. That should take care of the heavy oil, at least for right now. Let's get a line of light oil down here. And I'll have 3 solid fuel factories. So light oil to solid fuel. Yeah, there we go. Oh, I'm actually out of pipes. It's unfortunate. Thought I would have enough, but apparently I don't. We'll go ahead and hook this up to the power grid. Get these kind of producing. I'm not going to hook it up right away, just because I don't need it quite yet. But it's definitely a good thing to have set up. Alright, we'll just bring this right over towards where we have our coal processing. That should be fine. So basically the unwanted byproducts are taken care of. We have heavy oil being made into lubricant. We have light oil being made into solid fuel blocks. And the petroleum gas is going to be made into sulfur and plastic. Now, let's see here. Let's go ahead and get the sulfur and sulfuric acid set up anyway. And we can kind of go from there. Actually, no, I can't. That's going to be kind of a pain. Okay, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hook up this solid fuel line. So I'm going to go down here, grab a few more belts, actually grab a few more materials in general. Okay, so we've got those belts. We'll go ahead and finish this line off. And I think what I might do is I think I'm going to just power the electricity off this for right now. So we'll go ahead and hook that in. The smelting operation I'm just going to run off of coal, and that will, because plastic also requires coal, so that'll allow me to bring a line of coal over to the plastic production and kind of go from there. So, which is always nice. Let's go ahead and build a splitter here. And we'll get these going on both sides of the belt. Alright. Yeah, so that is taking care of our heavy oil, our light oil, and also kind of taking care of our coal shortage problem. So, with that, I think I'm going to end this episode with that. As you can see, the boilers are just going to use up all the coal on the line, and then once they run out of coal, they'll pick up the solid fuel. So, should automatically make the transition over. And in the next episode, we'll go ahead and go into the petroleum gas production and getting, depending on how much time I have, I might even get into the blue science packs. So until next time, thanks for watching, as always, and remember to take care of yourselves out there. Oh, wow. I might need help.
Alright.
There's like... Oh god, I'm out of ammo. Oh, that's not good.
I'm coming. Can you head to me? Oh god, I'm running as fast as I can.
I think I got them.
Alright.
They're all small biters, but there were like
a lot of them.
20 of them. Yeah.
Damn. Do you have armor?
No.